members of the Armenian diaspora, representatives of international institutions, civil society organizations, dear friends, welcome to the virtual concert presented by the Permanent Mission of the Republic of Armenia to the United Nations for the humanitarian relief efforts of the people of Artsakh. For almost 2 weeks now, the people of Artsakh have been defending their families, their faith, and their very existence in their ancestral homeland. What is currently happening in Artsakh is a struggle for freedom, dignity, and human rights against barbarity, tyranny, and terror. As a people who have undergone the horrors of genocide in the 20th century, Armenians and the civilized world cannot allow for a repetition of such atrocities in modern times. The Armenian communities around the world, and here in New York, as we have observed yesterday, have shown remarkable solidarity and support for Armenia and Artsakh. Within the United Nations, the global organization that was created to reaffirm faith in fundamental human rights, in the dignity and worth of human person, in equal rights of nations large and small, we are working to make sure that the trials and tribulations faced by the people of Nagorno-Karabakh are recognized by the international community and the perpetrators of the atrocities are held accountable. I want to acknowledge all those from around the world for their generous contributions to All Armenian Fund over the last weeks, and I hope that this concert will inspire to contribute further. Today's concert is presented to support the fundraising efforts of All Armenian Fund, but also to raise awareness and knowledge amongst our international partners, humanitarian actors, civil society representatives, academicians, and simply people of good faith. Humanity should stand in solidarity with the people of Artsakh, the innocent women, children, and elders who are facing an existential threat. I'm very grateful to Kariné Poghosyan, an award-winning New York-based Armenian pianist, who we have had the pleasure of collaborating with on several occasions, and whose performances at Carnegie Hall last year still resonate among friends and colleagues. Kariné's performances have been described as extraordinary and larger than life, and today our viewers will get the experience to experience something truly moving. We're happy to have with us special guest Chris Bohjalian, the #1 New York Times bestselling author of 21 books, whose works has been translated into 35 languages. 3 have been adapted to movies, and his 2018 novel, The Flight Attendant, is an upcoming HBO television series. We're also happy to have Sergey Sargsyan, co-founder of ArmComedy, a satirical Armenian news show, who is famous not only in Armenia, but also in Armenian communities around the world. Our American audience may recall Sergey from his appearance on Conan O'Brien's show. I will now pass the screen to Chris for his remarks. Chris, please, you have the floor.
It is indeed a pleasure to be with you this afternoon. Chris Bohjalian here. Most of you know me as a novelist. Today I am here only as an Armenian. First of all, we are in for a treat. I have heard Kariné, an absolutely remarkable pianist, play in venues as diverse as Carnegie Hall and living rooms across the tri-state area, and she is a force of nature, one of the most gifted Armenian artists on this planet. Of course, we are also here because Armenians, once again, are under attack. Artsakh holds a very special place in all of our hearts, and I have been to the line of contact. I have stood in the trenches with our soldiers. So let's begin with this fact. Fighting did not just erupt. No. Azerbaijan, with Turkey's help and approval, used the cover of the worldwide pandemic and the American election distraction to attack the Armenians of Artsakh. Moreover, there is no Azeri civilian to shell at the line of contact. It's desert and scrub and a buffer zone to the east of the line of contact. But to the west, Armenian villages, and not far behind them, the capital of Artsakh. I have walked through those villages and schools after Azerbaijan has shelled them. Yes, we are in the midst of a ceasefire, but it is tenuous at best. Artsakh has always been Armenian. Our ambassador just referred to it as our ancestral homeland. I visited the medieval and Renaissance churches there. It only became part of Azerbaijan in 1923 when Joseph Stalin was carving up the Caucasus. This is intellectually about a people's right to self-determination versus territorial integrity. And the people of Artsakh voted almost unanimously when the Soviet Union collapsed to leave Azerbaijan. Moreover, a people's right to self-determination always takes precedence over territorial integrity when the people are in danger of genocide, as the Armenians are. This is a continuation of the Armenian genocide. Recall the pogroms of Baku. Artsakh is a fledgling democracy of 145,000 people with pomegranates and the herbs and spices to make zingalavats. Azerbaijan, 10 million people, oil and natural gas. All the Armenians want is peace. That's all, peace. But we lost Van and Dikranegard and Cilicia. Make no mistake, we will not lose Artsakh too. Artsakh is our line in the sand. It is why we are all Artsakh strong. I ask two things of you this afternoon. One, please donate to the All Armenia Fund. And two, sit back and enjoy the remarkable concert from Kariné. Shad Shinodogalam.
Thank you, Chris, for your powerful message and inspiring words. And now I will ask Sergey to have his intervention. Please, Sergey.
Your Excellency, Mr. Margaryan, dear friends, viewers, it's very tough to speak after such an eloquent speaker as Mr. Bohjalian. I just want to say from my perspective, what I've been seeing these days here from Armenia, that as a comedian, as a political satirist, my job is to observe and comment on all the home politics, all the bickering and quarreling, and all the party politics and everything, and suddenly to see that all of that, all of those fighting inside Armenia, all of those disagreements and everything, all those faction fights and quarrels, they suddenly vanish in the face of a true existential threat, is the true witnessing of history in the making, and makes you realize how much of a potential we as a nation have if we can really put aside all those differences, which now we realize are so trifling, so little, so insignificant, that we can team up behind the idea of, well, basically the idea of staying alive and maintaining our national identity as Armenians at a time when it is actually threatened. From the legends that we have heard from all those, our grandparents passing the stories of horrors, suddenly we see that happening now, and we realize that this is the momentum that if we don't sober up, if we don't realize that unity is the only way out and the only way for existence, the recipe for existence, then otherwise it's not going to work. And seeing today is that that realizing is taking place, and everyone is pitching in, and from all walks of life, all Armenians. Even Kim Kardashian was actually pitching in recently. My friends from different professions. I, as a comedian, have used, and my friends from the field have used their ability of observation to spot falses of the adversary, falses and fake concepts circulating, trying to expose the lies that are being used in this also media warfare. And hopefully we will come out of this, and not hopefully, I'm pretty sure that this is going to stick, the realizing that we have to be together and leave a lot of those really tiny little useless even differences aside for the sake of survival, and realizing how much at stake we have while we bicker along the way. Is going to make us stronger, and we're going to get out of this stronger and better off. And this particular event, fundraiser, and thank you, Kariné Jan, for this so much, is just another pitch into this common organism, I would say, that we have become as a nation, scattered among hemispheres, really coming together as this really social, networky nation. And it's really inspiring seeing Armenians from around the world really forming this one big organism that is called Armenia. So let's make it big, and let's make it enduring. Thank you.
Thank you, dear Sergey, for sharing your experience, and for the powerful messages, and for the encouraging words. Now I will ask Kariné to take the lead and to delight us with her performance. Kariné, you have the screen now.
Thank you so much, everyone, for this beautiful opportunity to come together. Ambassador Margaryan, Chris Bohjalian, Sergey, Sargsyan, thank you for making time. And I want to thank each and every person that has tuned in and wants to make a difference in this incredibly important and humanitarian cause. I have hand-selected some of the most empowering, some of the most uplifting musical compositions that I could possibly think of to play for you. And as I do, I very much from the bottom of my heart encourage you and ask you to please go to ArmeniaFund.org and donate generously, because it really is a very immediate and very urgent need that we have right now. So I will briefly say the program, and then in between pieces I will also remind what I'm playing. So I will begin with the iconic Beethoven Symphony No. 5 as transcribed for solo piano by Franz Liszt. I'll play the first movement. Then I will proceed on to the finale from Igor Stravinsky's Firebird, one of my absolute most favorite pieces. After that, I actually had initially thought to play a bit of Debussy, but as I was practicing Debussy, I kept thinking of the Armenian genius composer that Debussy himself was an enormous admirer of, and of course is Komitas Vagharshapat. When Debussy in fact heard Komitas' 6 stanzas for piano, he said this is one of the greatest composers I have ever known. And so I decided to instead play the lovely gem Unabi from his 6 stanzas from piano. This is a dance from the city of Shushi. After that, I will go on to the Heroique Polonaise by Frédéric Chopin. I think we are all very much in need of heroic energy and music, so I think that piece is absolutely perfect for that. And I will finish the program with 2 Khachaturian works. the beloved Adagio from his ballet Spartacus, and the third movement from his iconic 1961 piano sonata. So without further ado, let me begin with Beethoven Symphony No. 5 as transcribed for solo piano by Franz Liszt. Okay, Beethoven Symphony number 5, first movement. Next piece, I think, has a particularly meaningful place in my heart, the third movement of Firebird. In the story of Stravinsky's Firebird, it is all about overcoming evil. It all starts out in the cave of this evil Kashey, the wizard, the king, and by this movement, the finale, we actually have arrived at a point where Kashey has been defeated. And it begins very symbolically, very, very quietly, as if a little sunshine, a little ray of sunshine is just as it's rising, just as the sun is rising, we see it, and a little ray of hope begins to appear. And then it expands and grows, and the piece, of course, finishes with a big, grand, victorious fanfare. So I find it so inspiring and symbolic. So I hope you enjoy finale, third movement from Igor Stravinsky's Firebird. Such an empowering piece. Stravinsky Firebird, the third movement. Now we get to the beautiful Artsakh city of Shushi and a dance that comes from this city titled Unabi. Komitas Vagharshapat wrote this particular piece along with the others in the set of 6 dances for piano in the year 1906. So if you ever need extra proof that Shushi is Armenian, be sure to quote Komitas and his 6 dances for piano, and particularly dance number 2, Unabi, which is an old traditional dance from the city of Shushi. The delicate one-page long little masterpiece titled Unabi by Komitas Vagharshapat. Next, I will go to an incredibly special piece, Polonaise Heroique by Chopin. Chopin himself knew a great deal of being away from his homeland and suffering from far away as he saw Poland struggle for its independence and identity. And so I think it is a perfect piece for me emotionally to connect to it. And it has, again, the most empowering, heroic, encouraging energy. So I hope so much you enjoy Opus 53, Polonaise Heroique by Chopin. the Polonaise Heroique by Frédéric Chopin. Now, going on to the last two pieces by Khachaturian. First, I will play the incomparable Adagio by Khachaturian from his ballet Spartacus. It was transcribed for piano by a wonderful American pianist, Matthew Cameron. And the grand finale I want to finish with is the third movement of Khachaturian's piano sonata, written in 1961. Khachaturian himself wrote in a letter that this sonata is his most optimistic piece that he ever composed, ending with this big, grand C major chord at the end. And so, again, I think it is just perfect for the sentiment of what we are doing. Before I start, again, let me remind you, please be sure to go to ArmeniaFund.org and make generous contributions to help Artsakh. It would be incredibly, incredibly appreciated. It will make a major difference. So please consider donating. Here is Adagio. Is the finale, the last moment of Khachaturian's piano sonata that ends with that big victorious C major chord. I hope so much you all enjoyed this program. I specifically, as I said, chose pieces that are all about empowerment, and I hope you're inspired to go to ArmeniaFund.org, and please do donate generously. Ambassador, I hand it back to you.
Thank you, Kariné, for that wonderful performance, which was very emotional and heartening cultural tribute to the heroism of the people of Nagorno-Karabakh. And I want to thank all the viewers who were inspired to donate to Armenia Fund. And I want to note that the recording of the concert will be available online for those who couldn't connect on time, and they will be able to watch it later too. I would like to thank the participants of today's concert, Chris and Sergey, once again for taking the time to raise awareness of such an important humanitarian cause. And now I believe we have time for one last performance by Kariné, which will be the concluding part of today's event. Kariné, back to you for the last piece, and that will end today's concert. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Ambassador. Again, thank you, Chris and Sergey, and thank you, everyone who has donated. I will send us off with Vagharshapat, Dance of Vagharshapat by Babajanian. Thank you.